What's going on, folks? I'm here to talk about the new Metal Gear Rising hack and slash game starring Raiden from the famous Metal Gear Solid series. For starters, I just want to, voice out a few misconceptions and explain a few things about this game. So, for starters, this is not a Metal Gear Solid game. There will be no Snake. There will be no Revolver Ocelot. There will be no snakes involved in this game. Now, that being said, let's proceed on to the next. Don't expect anything as far as anything related to, the story of Metal Gear Solid. That's its own entity. This right here is, its own little dealy. So don't expect, that sneaking and all the, the good storyline as far as the military corruption, all that stuff goes. Just forget about it. Next, let's go ahead with a little bit about the mechanics. First of all, they did not do a good job as far as giving the new players, as far as the new players and the old players of the game. They didn't give us a good tutorial set, and what I mean is there are a lot of things in the game that you basically would have to go on YouTube or some other source and find out whether certain mechanics about the game, like the dodge and the parry and the block and the slicing and all that different type of stuff. There's certain few things that I didn't know that weren't taught to me in the tutorials. It would have made the game, I would say not a lot easier, but it would have, it saved me some frustration. It could save you some frustration too. So I guess a little later I'll go over that. This is not a game. It's a hack and slash game, but it's not like say Devil May Cry or something like that. This is a very, for me, as far as playing on the hard mode, I always play all my games on hard mode. It's a defensive game because there's a lot of times where you have a few different mobs right up on you, and if you're not blocking or parrying, they will destroy you, especially when you get to the bigger characters, like when I first got in the sewer and I had to fight that gorilla. Yeah, I mean, I beat him, but I could have saved myself some heartache if I would have known about exactly how to parry and block, Zendatsu and all that different type of stuff. It would have been a lot easier. But this is not like a hack and slash where you can just go willy-nilly and just, there's a lot of other games out there that are more offensive. This game is more of it's an offensive game, but it's defensive at the same time. So you might want to go ahead and brush up on your timing, because timing is very imperative, especially when you go to the monsoon battle. Well, the monsoon battle itself wasn't that hard because they gave you a lot of power-ups when you destroy stuff. But then when you fought Monsoon's clone, that's when it got hard because you had no power-ups to help you out there. So the parry system was definitely something that would help me a lot. There are some sneaking aspects to the game. You can do what's called a ninja kill, where if you're not spotted by the enemy, you can actually go behind them, sneak up behind them, and press the B button and ninja kill. And while you do the ninja kill, it will prompt you to hold down the blade mode, and then you can go for that arm that you want from the commanders or whatever, the captains, whatever they're called, or you can just go for the electrolyte steel and go for that. But there is a sneaking portion to this game, and I will say there are some areas that you are better off sneaking through rather than slashing everything. Some people like to go slash and all that stuff, but sometimes there's just too many biggies on the screen for you to take care of yourself. So I basically ninja, like going through the Japanese garden. I ninja'd my way through. When I say that, I cut all the guards down that were like in the courtyard and everything else. All the patrols, I cut them down, then snuck my way to the door. So you can do some sneaking. You can do some, what is it, the overhead sneak attacks, but it's not just a total hack and slash. Like I said, it's different than some other hack and slashes out there. The storyline, it's not, like I said, you don't expect any Metal Gear Solid references. I mean, there's certain things that I'm not going to spoil for you that are from the Metal Gear Solid games, but this in itself is Raiden basically going off in his own just to go ahead and join his own basic PMC. If you guys know what that means, private military corporation company, something to that effect. But he's basically going off on his own, doing his own thing, outside of Snake and his group. He's doing his own thing. So don't expect storyline to be anywhere chained to the whole thing. Now, still dealing with war. War has still changed, but this is Raiden's take on it, and the story goes a little more in depth from Raiden as far as his childhood and how he was brought up, how he used to be, and like I said, I'll save you some spoilers for that. I want you to play through it, and it's not storyline like Metal Gear Solid, but it's okay. It's not bad, but it's not great either, so don't expect that much. The playthrough is, for some people, will be rather short, but me, I didn't see it being short because I play every game on hard mode from the start. I don't ever, except for Ninja Gaiden. I played Ninja Gaiden on normal, I'll admit that, but any other game, I play on hard mode. So the first time, especially me not knowing certain things about the parry and blocking mechanics and the side dodge, yeah, it made for a longer game for me, but it was that much greater when I finished it. Because when I finished the last boss, he's not that hard, but there's one thing about the slicing that I just, for some reason, I couldn't line it up. Got a little tip from the YouTube thing, and finally went ahead and did that. Killed the guys. The boss battles, I say. Now, a lot of other games, they'll go through and you have a lot of these big bosses where their face or arm takes up the whole screen and everything, and that's cool. That's a cool aspect. This game, they have big bosses, but I said big boss. They have huge bosses, but for the most part, it's more of a one-on-one type of scenario. Other than like the first main boss, Mistral, she has her little minion guys, whatever you want to call them. But for the most part, it's just sword on sword, just like they did back in the Japanese days. One-on-one. They have like a bit of an honor system. Everybody goes through their own dialogue, and I'm gonna kill you. No, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna make you pay. Whatever. Blah blah blah. But the battles are a little more epic and meaningful. One-to-one, man-to-man, mano-y-mano. See who's got what it takes to destroy the other person. And I actually like most of the boss battles, except for the first one, Mistral. She was pretty much a breeze through, but the other bosses that come up, yeah, they're a little hard. I mean, of course, they're like other games, you find out a certain pattern and everything, and then you destroy them. But have fun with the bosses. Me personally, I like the bosses. Just, I don't know. But to sum it up, I just think that you guys should go ahead and play the game. Give it a fair chance. It's not Metal Gear Solid. No, it's not full on sneaking, and war has changed and all that different type of stuff. Play it for its own game. I think the creators, Hideo Kojima, I think they, from a marketing standpoint, they messed up in calling it Metal Gear anything. They could have called it Chronicles of Raiden or the Raiden story or something like that. But when you pin it a Metal Gear on it, then there's the diehards such as myself that will go ahead and you get butthurt about it. So, oh, this is not Metal Gear. This is a corny spinoff or whatever. It's a spinoff, but it's by a long shot not corny. Now, there are some aspects about the game that you will say are over the top. But come on now, Raiden was doing some bad stuff in Metal Gear Solid 4. He turned into that guy, and this expanded upon it. So, I think you guys really should give it a fair shake. There's a lot of other hack and slash games that are cool too. But if every hack and slash game was the same, then who would want to play all the different hack and slash games? Bayonetta is different. Ninja Blade is different. Ninja Gaiden is different. Devil May Cry is different. They got a ton of hack and slash games that are going to be different, and this is one of those games. Platinum did a very decent job with the game mechanics. I've never really followed them as a company, but I think they did a really good job, and I'll be looking forward to playing some of their other games. I'm going to buy Vanquish next week. For me, I didn't play Bayonetta. I thought Bayonetta was a bit corny looking. Had they made it less corny looking and corny sounding, I might have played that. They can still have that girl, but I didn't really get down with there was just certain things about the game that were weird for me, and I didn't bother playing it. Maybe I missed out on the good game. My brother says that all the time. But, I don't know. Metal Gear Rising, for me, I love the game. I love the playthrough. I love the difficulty. I'm going on Revengeance mode right now. And, I'm just having a good time through it. Doing the VR missions. The VR missions are, once you finish some of the VR missions, it gives you a rewarding feeling. You get battle points for, doing some of the VR missions, especially when you rank first, second, or third. But the VR missions are definitely, for me, I think are an integral part of sprucing up your skills, because there are certain things about that game that annoyed me, as far as like the many hordes of enemies you have on screen at one time, and they're just throwing all types of missiles and bullets at you, whatever. It gets ridiculous. But for the most part, like I said, give the game a try. Oh, last but not least, how do you like my limited edition Raiden sword lamp? I love this thing. I didn't know that it was gonna do all the electricity stuff that it's doing, but it's doing it, and it's gonna stay on my desk for a long time. Anyways, signing out. Thanks, guys.